Joseph Campbell coined the best words we've ever heard uttered from physical mouth when he said, follow your bliss. But sometimes you do not have access to bliss from where you are. And if you're reaching for bliss when you are in a vibration so far from it and you cannot find it, then sometimes you feel lost again. So what we want to encourage you to do is begin saying, I can get to wherever I want to be, but right now I'm just going to reach for the best feeling thought that I have access to right now. And when you get there, announce to everybody, I am so angry I could wring your neck, and I feel so much better than I did earlier. And then if you have it within you, you might say to them, I will try to restrain myself, but meanwhile you might want to go someplace else. Eventually I will be in frustration, and then I will be in appreciation. But right now, I am in anger, and I like it here. I did it on purpose. And those are the key words. I did this on purpose. Watch your children. Watch anybody who finds themselves in a place where they feel powerless. In fact, this entire range of emotions. Oh, let's talk about some of them. So here is despair and powerlessness. And then not too far from that is a feeling of rage. And not too far from that is anger, 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 anger. There are lots of degrees of anger. And then you can get into that place that you would call frustration, overwhelmment. Then you could get into pessimism, hopefulness, optimism. Then you could get into appreciation, belief, even those feelings that you call love, even those feelings that you call knowing, into that place that you call empowerment or well-being. And of course, there are many, many words that we did not speak. And sometimes the word doesn't mean the same thing to you that it means to somebody else. But that's the general vibrational range. We like to call it the emotional range. But on the far end of emotion, where you are truly connected to who you really are, there is one word that stands out above all others, and it is the word empowerment. It is the word free. It is the word being in complete alignment with the energy that is you. It is the only place that freedom exists, is in that vibrational place where you, who hold all of the power to you, nobody else does, where you have discovered the way to create within yourself a pattern of vibration that allows you full connection to who you really are. That's the only place that you can ever be free. Nobody else can give it to you. You have to do it to yourself. And on the other end of that, on the far other end of that, is the feeling of disempowerment. It's the feeling of powerlessness. Today, we want to help you to peel off the layers of the onion and bring yourself back to that glad person, to that person who, again, believes in your natural well-being. Because there is a stream of well-being that is flowing to you at such powerful impetus, it is amazing that you manage to let it miss you, ever. The stream is huge. Look at what's taking place here. Do you know how much thought has gone before that equals the manifestation that you are about? Do you know how many billions upon billions upon billions of leading edge creators have stood in similar places where you stand and have allowed their natural preferences to be born, that has summoned life force, that has made your leading edge place even better for you than it was for the generation before you and before that and before that? The energy stream that supports us all, that you have access to, this creative stream, is supposed to feel good to you while you apply it to your creative endeavor. And if it doesn't, it's only because you've practiced some screwy thoughts. So when possible, make a legal U-turn. Today we're going to show you how you can make that U-turn and how to do it gently enough that you don't fling yourself off in the bushes. We want to show you how, rather than trying to make quantum leaps, you just reach for the best feeling thought that you have access to. And sometimes, you know, from that place of very powerful despair, the best feeling thought that you have access to is far from bliss and joy. It's far from peace and contentment and satisfaction. It's even far from frustration. It's down here in the revenge range. So if you were in true despair about something, maybe something has happened that has rendered you feeling utterly powerless. If you were to choose rage on purpose and feel yourself begin to breathe again, would you say you've made a good choice? We would. Most of society would not. Most of society would rather you were depressed. Because when you're powerless and depressed, you slink off and leave everyone alone. You're not a problem to society. But when you start trying to regain your power and you get into that mode of rage or anger, now you're not so nice to be with. But from our point of view, you have made a good decision. The question is, did you do it on purpose? And if you did do it on purpose, can you stop long enough to say, I have deliberately chosen this thought of anger or rage, and I feel better in this thought than I did in my depression and despair and powerlessness. I'm happy for the control I have regained. Because if you can stop and say, I did it on purpose, and I'm happy for the control that I have gained, and I'm going to keep reaching now for a thought that feels even better than this, now you realize there is no place you cannot go. But if you were in despair and you just discovered rage and anger, as you often do because your guidance system guides you to it, it's a sort of natural self-survival instinct. As you discovered it, but you didn't know that you did it on purpose, you didn't know how you got there, then what happens so often is you just bounce back and forth from despair and powerlessness to rage, to despair and powerlessness to rage, and then they give you some label and lock you up somewhere and say that you are a menace to society when you were just doing what any natural joy-seeking being would do who couldn't reach joy from that place. So look around you. When do your children most act up? Is it when they feel empowered? Is it when they are inspired? Is it when they are full of themselves? Or is it when they are being restrained? Is it when they are being told that they should not do something? Is it when they are being told that they are inappropriate in some way? And as you pay attention to yourself or to anyone that you know, begin to notice that the feeling of empowerment is bliss, and the feeling of disempowerment is as far from bliss as you can get. And everything about your emotions is about that range, no matter what you call it. So, as you make the decision that you are going to reach for the best thought that you have access to, there's something very important that you have to decide right along with that. Some of you are going to like the sound of this. Others, it will frighten you. You have to decide that you no longer give a rip about what anybody else says. Sometimes people will say, Abraham, you teach selfishness. And we say, indeed we do. Because you have perspective of self. Your guidance system is about self. Every point of consciousness has this awareness of self. Think about it. If there are all of these consciousnesses, and we're not just talking about the human consciousnesses, although we are mostly talking to you about that, but consider all consciousness. Think about it. If every consciousness, even the one-celled amoeba in the ocean, even the cellular consciousness that is within you, if every point of consciousness is reaching for what is best for it, must that not be what is best for the whole? You see, humans think that there is competition. They think that you are in competition for the good stuff. So if somebody over there wants what's best for it, then it might get it and it might deprive you of what's best for you. But that's not the way this universe works. This is an expanding universe that expands proportionate to the desire that is conjured, that is fashioned, that is offered within all consciousness. And so when you understand that there is no competition, that nobody can get your good stuff, only you can allow it or disallow it, then you begin to understand that that's how the universe expands. You don't need to worry about what anybody else is doing. They're not getting your stuff. So when you realize that you are the creator of your own experience and your dominant intention becomes to be a vibrational match with the well-being that flows, that's so much what we want you to hear. That's why we call this gathering the art of allowing. The art of allowing the well-being that you want and deserve into your experience. When you don't feel so good, you're not letting it in. The better you feel, the more you are letting it in. So, when your mantra is, I'm going to start making the best of things. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to make the best of it. What you're actually saying is, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm focusing on, I'm reaching for the best thought that I can find. And when you're in despair, the best thought that you can find might be anger, but you can find it. And when you find it and say, there, that feels better, now I'm going to still reach for the best thought I can find. It might be a thought of true frustration, but you can find it. And when you find it, you will feel better. And then when you say, I'm still going to reach for the best feeling thought I can find, it might be a thought of overwhelmment. It might be a thought of pessimism. It might be a thought. Where is blame? So here is despair, disempowerment, and here is anger. Where's blame? Does blame improve your connection, or is there more resistance in blame? What do you think? So I feel powerless, and now I feel angry. And now I feel blameful. Is blameful improving? Yes. It really is, isn't it? Now I feel guilty. I feel guilty about being blameful, actually. Did I move toward my connection or away from it? You see, you know this stuff. You know the way you feel. You can tell the way you feel. So somebody's watching you, someone from the outside who has a list of rules and requirements to get into the good clubs. And they see you in your anger. And then they see you depressed. Do they understand that you've made an improvement in your anger? Usually not. So now blame them. Now what's their response? Now they'll pray for you. In other words, no one outside of you knows that you have made a vibrational improvement. No one knows but you. And so if you're asking someone else to tell you the way to go, you will be lost in the desert, because they'll say, go that way, 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 go that way. They'll tell you what they've done in their past. They'll tell you what you've done in your past. In other words, you get so scrambled, you're upside down and all around. But when you are paying attention to the way you feel, now you've made this an emotional journey. And when you make it an emotional journey, you can feel which way was an improvement. It's like your cork floats on the surface of the water. That's where you're supposed to be. You can hold it under the water, but that's unnatural. And when you let go, it's going to bob back up to the surface. And you will too. If you'll pay attention to the way you feel, and you will let your new mantra be, nothing is more important than that I feel good, but I'm not going to follow my bliss today. I can't even see my bliss. I can't even smell my bliss. I can't even remember the last time I felt bliss. I'm not sure if I've ever felt bliss. I've never known anybody that felt bliss. I hate the idea of bliss. I hate everybody that's ever been in bliss. I'm perfectly happy here in my rage. And we say, good for you. Just make another statement that says, I'll only be here for a day or two because I know that there is something that feels even better than this. And then keep reaching for it. And try to disregard anybody else's response. And it is our promise to you, within a matter of hours in many cases, certainly within a matter of a few days, you can go on any topic from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. And this is the most important thing you will ever hear anybody say to you. Once you have made the emotional journey, the physical manifestation must follow. It is law. You can't feel as good as you are going to begin feeling without doors opening everywhere, without smiles coming everywhere, without the universe catering to you. People will watch you and say, when were you anointed king of this world? People will say, I cannot believe the good things that happen to you. How is it that all of this wonderful stuff happens to you? And you will humbly say to them, not to me, to all of us. I've just figured out how to stop blocking it. I've practiced beating the drum of praising and appreciating. I'm beating the drum of making the best of things. I'm trying to make the best of everything. And in doing so, I'm achieving vibrational alignment more and more every day with the well-being that we all deserve. And I'm glad that it's showing up in my life. I hope it's not making you jealous, because it's there for you too. Good. Well, we are really done. There isn't anything else that we could ever give you that would be of one bit of value beyond that. That's the whole thing. You're good. You deserve good. Good's flowing.